Hi, welcome to Pyrography Made Easy. I'm Brenda. In this episode, we are going to examine my wood finish test panel and see how the different finishes are aging. And then we'll cover the pros and cons of them. Let's get into it. All of my test panels were created in 2018. This video was created in 2024, so all of the finishes have aged for 6 years. My first panel is untreated, so there isn't a wood finish applied to it. The next panel is lacquer, and it has turned a very light tan hue. After that is polyacrylic. This finish has remained the clearest on the test panel. Shellac is next, and it has turned a similar tan hue that the lacquer has, whereas polyurethane has a very pronounced yellow tan hue to it. Podge has remained very clear. It is on par with polycrylic. And lastly, Tru-Oil. It is the darkest of all my test panel finishes. I am angling the test panel around because the light can impact how the finishes look. Here is my ranking on the finished lightness. First is untreated, or no finish was applied to the wood. Second, polycrylic. Third, Mod Podge hard coat. Fourth, lacquer. Fifth, shellac. Sixth, polyurethane. And last, Tru-Oil. For this cost comparison, I used 1-quart cans. From top to bottom is untreated, lacquer, Mod Podge, polycrylic, polyurethane, shellac, Tru-Oil. The next column is the brand for comparison. This column is the price that I found on Amazon. Lastly is the price that I found in a home improvement store like Lowe's or Home Depot. I could not find Mod Podge or Tru-Oil at the home improvement store. The largest container of Mod Podge I could find was only 16 ounces, so I doubled it to get a quart. Untreated pros. It's free, and it doesn't take any time to do. Untreated cons. No protection from humidity changes, so there is a greater risk of the board bowing. No protection from drying out, so there's a greater risk from the board cracking. No protection from dust, dirt, and grimy hands. Lacquer pros. You don't have to sand between coats. You can thin the lacquer with lacquer thinner to make the coats flow easier. It is available in matte finish. I could only find the matte finish as an oil-based finish, and I prefer water-based. There is an aerosol spray-on version available. Lacquer cons. It can be difficult to keep streak-free when brushing on. It's moderately stinky, and depending on the store, matte finish is not available. Mod Podge hard coat pros. It remains mostly clear, and it's not overly smelly. The cons. It's very thick and it doesn't flow well. It has a 30-day cure time. It's available only in satin, only available in a brush-on style. It needs to be wet sanded to remove ridges. It's the most expensive finish on my test panel. Polycrylic pros. It remains fairly clear. It is available in matte and ultra-flat sheen levels. There is an aerosol spray-on version available. It doesn't have a strong aroma. The cons. You have to sand between coats. It has a very thin consistency, so run marks and drips can be a problem. It feels like plastic, at least to my fingers. Polyurethane pros. A matte sheen is available. Of the finishes on my test panel, this is the most durable. There is an aerosol spray-on version available. The cons. Polyurethane is extremely stinky. The fumes can be toxic. Apply in a very well ventilated area. It imparts a yellow hue that gets darker with time. You need to sand between coats. Shellac pros. It's food safe once cured. It will adhere to almost any surface. It can be removed with alcohol. You don't need to sand between coats. An aerosol spray-on version is available. The cons. Cans of brush-on shellac tend to dry out quickly. Buy only what you need. It's not very water resistant. Condensation from cold glasses can leave a white ring on the finish. It imparts a yellowish or tannish hue that gets darker with age. Tru-Oil pros, none that I am aware of. The cons, it is extremely stinky and the smell lingers for a long time. It discolors the wood, it gets very dark with age, and it's only available in a brush-on or rub-on style. This last test panel compares how matte, satin, semi-gloss, and glossy finishes are aging. I did this test panel because another YouTuber told me that the more matte a finish is, the more additives it has, and supposedly these additives make the finish get darker as it ages. Now, I personally prefer a matte finish because I don't like reflected light interfering with viewing the artwork. This test panel was created in 2019, so it has aged for 5 years. I only used the Minwax brand water-based polycrylic for the finishes. Quite truthfully, they all look to be aging the same way, so I will stick with my preferred matte finish. Well, that is it for this video. I hope the information was helpful. On my website, Pyrography Made Easy, I have a written version of this, and I also have a lot of free patterns and free written tutorials. I will put a link to my website in the video description. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.